Okay.
All right, we are live. Perfect timing. Welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom.
And I am, oh, poop.
All
For
right,
George.
Cameron said the notification worked. Excellent.
Oh, that's good. It finally worked, huh?
Oh, Miguel also, notification. It's a wonder. Well, that's good. Welcome.
I'm going to YouTube now. So what's going on, by the way, in the market?
Not nearly
I
as
haven't
bad
really
as I
paid
expected.
attention.
It's everything's having a bit of a down day, but it's not bad.
Is this a fake out for tomorrow? Fake out before they break out or fall apart?
I got to tell you, I don't know what to say. We're not closed yet. We still got 10 minutes, but it's been hovering. This is about as good as it's gotten today. We're down 0.87 on the NASDAQ. We're down 0.43 on the Russell. We're down 0.25 on the Dow and 0.39 on the S&P. So we're down, we're down across the board, but nothing awful. I thought this was going to be a down 2%, down 3% kind of day, and it was not.
So my question is, do I buy Rivian before the end of the day?
Hey, JM. Yeah, Bitcoin had some problems last night. It was fine today. So
You didn't hear me. Should I buy some of this Rivian before we leave?
I would not buy. Hey, listen, this is not financial advice. You do what you want, but here's how I'm playing Rivian. It's down. So they announce earnings after hours, so we'll be able to watch that live. They're down big today. They did hit their all-time low in the middle of the day today. But what I'm waiting for is, this is another one of those. I don't want any part of Rivian unless they get beat up after earnings again. Like if they get one more beat down, then I'm going to be interested in Rivian. Believe it or not. I mean, I was trashing this stock, but that was when it was at $150. You know,
well, how much lower do you need it to go?
I needed to go to like $33. That's
really, that's where you want to be?
I just think it stands. I think it could go as low as 30. Although I have to tell you, let's go here because here's the ultimate fake out of all time. We sat there yesterday and debated how low this was going to go, and on a red day, Core Scientific was up huge. So you just never know. But my thing is with Rivian, I don't care. If it doesn't get down there, I'm not buying it. I'll just miss. There's plenty of other things to buy in the market. I don't need Rivian, but it's sitting here.
$36 billion?
It's 36.
Negative.
But remember,
Wow.
It's at $41 from $179. And that's just...
How is this thing ever in... It doesn't even make sense.
We talked about this the first 5 days after they went public, that this valuation is mind-boggling, insane, ludicrous. And, of course, we did not short it because I don't short anything. But I didn't even buy puts because with these EVs, I mean, who knows? They go up, they go down.
Oil is down again?
Yeah, oil is... short term here, last 48 hours, it's been pretty stable. It's $106 a barrel, which should sound awful, but it actually sounds great compared to what it was 2 days ago.
Wow.
Gold is hanging out just over 2,000. So this was a pretty quiet day. Bitcoin had probably the hardest day, but you can see it really wasn't today. These red candles are yesterday. So we're Eastern Standard Time, so this was 10 o'clock, 10:30, and then, what's this, 11:15, 11:30. So, you know, from 10 o'clock to midnight last night, Bitcoin tanked. But we're up. We're up since then. And we're closing at the high of the day. but the miners didn't necessarily reflect that. They did not rally here in the last 15 minutes on all this upward momentum. Are we, what's...
Wow. Core Scientific is the highest today.
Core Scientific, and if I scroll up, this is a very strange day. Iris had a big day. Wolf had a big day. But obviously, by far the most surprising, these two, you know, don't surprise me. Particularly Wolf, we talked about. They got beaten up so badly. They're rallying for the last couple of days. But Core Scientific was you know, this was the day everybody thought they were going to absolutely tank, and they're on fire. Oh, hey, thanks. My contacts are awful today, so I'm having trouble reading the comments. I don't know what's going on. Thanks, Malik. And good evening to you, Rob. George, you're gonna have to take over the reading. Ford, yes, Rob. I've done a few Ford options. And they're down. I don't know if they dipped under $16 today, but they've been hanging around down around $16, and I like Ford a lot.
You want me to take over the reading? Hang on, you missed one. Hey, Tom, you're the best. Why are you hanging out with George?
It does not say that.
Ben, you're killing me, Ben. You're killing me. I'm in on green power, but why are you hanging with brown power? What does that mean? Because I'm the poop? Okay.
I feel like I'm not getting an accurate representation
it's safer to buy into Ford than Rivian.
What? Why do I think it is? Is that the question, or do I think it is?
Do you think it is? Oh yeah, I think it is too.
It absolutely is. It's a safer bet. That doesn't mean it's a better investment. I mean, Rivian, if you're willing to take risk, Rivian is going to have massive swings. But I will tell you, Ford and General Motors, some days they act like EV companies. They were up like 6 or 7% in one day. That is just not how a Ford or a General Motors works. But this is this is the way it works now, I guess. And I'm going to look at Ford because they're...
Well, as you do that, answer this. Which way is Bitcoin going, do we think? I think it's going like this.
Very helpful, yes.
There we go. Back and forth, back and forth.
That's about what the chart looks like. So
I know. If we could predict that one, we would be Plan A.
Yeah. Ford's at $16.35, so they're pretty much flat on the day. I think they're a buy, but this is a buy and hold. I think.
Ted, I was so close, Ted.
What happened?
He bought it at 660. We were watching it this morning at 660.
Ah,
and we were
nice.
like, man, 660. I don't know. We almost got in.
Are you? Was it Ted in the Discord? I told somebody in the Discord, nice catch, because that was like the absolute bottom.
Oh yeah, it was. Yep.
It was 660. That was well done.
Go to the bell so we can watch it close. This is what this is all about.
How do I go to the
Yahoo.
bell?
You go to Yahoo Finance page.
I'm on Yahoo.
Ding, 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 ding. It usually has us right there. Yeah, live.
Are planning to get out of Russia.
Yeah,
They're
sure.
winding down their operations there. So the list
What time is it?
of companies pulling out of Russia just keeps
it's 4
growing.
o'clock.
Also want to take a look at the travel sector here, because this is the one spotted
the
green that
sound
I'm
or
really
no?
seeing
Let me
today. We
see.
see Carnival Cruise Lines up 2%,
Come on, you
Hilton
got
up
10
3%,
seconds.
Airbnb
It's on the bar.
up 2%. And
for,
here is your closing bell on
so-
gold.
A second ago. Oh my goodness.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We can't hear this. Hang on. Ding, 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 ding. Whoever those guys are, they just all made a ton of money. They're like, yes, I made $1 million. I made $1 million. I made $5 million.
Well
I
done.
made $10
This
million.
guy right here, he did a good job. Oh, if we could rewind, he really nailed the gavel in there.
Down 113
Dude, this is
points,
insane.
about
I
a
can't
third
believe
of a percent. The S&P
it didn't really
500
come
down
that bad. It
0.43%.
wasn't that bad of a day.
And we're also seeing the Nasdaq down the most, down 0..
Well, no one can hear her, so don't worry about it. Only you can.
Oh, well, in that case, that's good.
Uh-oh, we're getting yelled at. I'm getting yelled at. I think there could still be another dip coming for Core Scientific, personally. I think today was a fake out.
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm calling it.
You know, I don't even want to guess, but if you look, it's like, I just refreshed to get the final numbers. So it was up almost 9% on the day. Trading volume was not high. 1.8 is the normal 2.6 today. I mean, there was no event here today. So I don't know. I don't think any of us saw this coming. I wish I would have done what Ted did. Bought in.
That's the winner.
Yeah, that's the winner. I got my stock, but I sold some of my options yesterday. And
Oh, you got your stock?
Yeah, I don't mess with the stock, but I'll sell the options in front of events like that. And they were up anyway, but now they would have been up even more. So that's
let's see. Wow, I missed a lot. Is this still a chip shortage? Yeah, there still is a chip shortage. There's everything shortage right now.
There's a chip shortage, but it is definitely not it's worse for the automakers by far than it is for the Bitcoin miners. It seems like the Bitcoin mining companies, and they have to make far less chips, but it seems like everybody's getting they still got to wait, and place an order most of the time.
You know what my theory is with this chip and the shortage on these cars? Did I tell you my theory?
No.
I might have told you the theory off screen. Is that there's no one to buy them.
You think the demand for the vehicles is down?
Yes,
so they're
and I
just
think
blaming a chip shortage.
Yep.
Well.
And guess what they do? Guess what happened to the price of vehicles?
It's gone up big time.
Yes. So they just, I mean, if you think about it, it's a genius plan.
I mean, that's Rivian. Rivian has gotten pummeled in the last week and a half. Rivian was at 68 like 7 trading days ago, but they announced a massive price increase. And, then they announced it retroactively for everybody that already put a deposit. So they undid that and fixed that. But, the bottom line is the next person that does a reservation is going to pay an extra $15,000, $20,000.
Oh, they could hear it. Only one that couldn't hear it was me.
Oh,
I guess.
Apparently it was ridiculously too loud.
I'm sorry.
The word that I'm getting from technical support.
Hey, everybody.
I'm not from around here, so.
Watson, hey. I'm so glad you guys could hear it. I could not hear it. Wow, that's crazy. Let's get into it. Hit our Bitcoin stocks. Miners.
All right. But first, that was a lot of drama up to failing at whatever I was doing. I don't know. This Stream Deck is a very simple thing. You literally just press a button, but it just doesn't ever work for me. Oh, there we go. Hey, link in the description. Join the Discord.
Where did that come? I don't see that anywhere.
Oh, I wonder if there's a delay. Did that not just pop up?
Oh, hang on. Maybe it'll pop up on Yahoo. I mean, on YouTube. Nothing. Nope.
Nothing?
There it is. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, so there's that much of a delay between when I press the button and when we're...
Yes.
So we are on it because of George. I didn't want to say anything, but because of George, the network puts us on a 30-second delay.
You say one thing, beep beep.
And please remember, everybody, subscribe and like the video. It helps a lot. So I appreciate it. And you guys, and I know our JM, JJT, all you guys, I know you're very good at that, and I appreciate it. And at leaving comments, which is awesome. So thank you, everybody.
Used cars cost more than new cars right now. It's crazy.
Weston says, yo, yo.
I like the mimic of SLV silver following Bitcoin little bull run. Well, today was a weird day because think about it. Usually Bitcoin and NASDAQ are, if they both go down, they both go down. Like one doesn't usually split the day. It's been happening more and more though. That's what Tom told me. So today was a split.
I believe we're starting to see, and it's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to be so slow that, you know, one day all of a sudden we're going to realize Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has a life of its own, and it's not tied to the market anymore. We're not there yet, and like the last month, it was like they were glued together. But that's starting to come undone. And after this executive order, so I did a video, if you guys want to watch. I read the entire executive order. I didn't read it in the video because that would be horribly boring. But I summarized it.
March 9th. Oh, sorry.
I summarized the whole thing, and I went through and looked at how the media interpreted it. And the bottom line was, I mean, this green right here was when the executive order came out. So, and we held that for a long time, and then last night, obviously, it collapsed. So we're sideways. We're sideways for the last 15, 16 hours. Really. We dipped, we hit a bottom. Was this before the market opened? Yeah. So we hit a bottom before the market even opened, and then we just pretty much went sideways. So I feel like unless you hold Coors, Iris, or Wolf, I feel like you got ripped off today because, although I gotta do it the right way. This is where Bitcoin was when the market closed yesterday. So, you know, we were down over 5% even after this rally off of the lows. Bitcoin was down 5% from where it was when the market closed yesterday. So, in light of that, I guess actually the miners did really well. Cleanspark is still over $11. Bitfarms is still insanely low at $3.45. I mean, most of these are still, I mean, they're nowhere near their lows, but they're still way, way off of even just an average number, never mind their highs. Hut at 540, I think, is low. Hive, $1.83. It's under $2. Riot at 16. Marathon at 24. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? To me, all those are still on sale, in my opinion. And I think with Bitcoin, I think George's advice was about... Here, let me go to...
As worthless as the toilet... Oh, no, that's pretty good, actually, when you need toilet paper.
I mean, this is... What direction do we think it's going in? I think it's going
up,
down.
down.
I mean, up. I mean, down. I mean, up, down, up. It's crazy. So, there's no...
I mean, is it starting to tighten, though, the range at all? Or, I mean, what are we seeing that at all?
You might think so from this little bit. So I'm gonna make a square, because what my eye sees in here is this. So I know we've dipped below it and we keep bouncing above it, but we keep gravitating back to this. And really, it's almost exactly where we're at right now. This 39,000, 39,500 range, that seems to be where we're stuck at. We pop up to this, but then you can see we hit a line of resistance, come right back down. We popped up, this time we hit this line of resistance. So yesterday we were talking about, you know, is this going to fail? And yes, it did fail. It went straight down from there. And if I get rid of my yellow thing here, it got to, well, it got here. That was the close. That's where Bitcoin was at the close on Tuesday. So today's Thursday. It got back down to Tuesday's number and started to rally from there. So we are, I mean, this is as sideways as it gets, in my opinion. So until we break out of, the two lines for me are really, and we keep dipping below this one, but this has basically held. This 37,000 and change has held, and this has been a brick wall. So we got to get to 46,000. That's the bottom line. We're moving up and down, which is good for trading. You know, I sold some options, but for stock, it just, it's just trading up and down in the exact same range along with Bitcoin. And in my opinion, undervalued. All, at the top, near the top of my list, I would call these undervalued in my opinion. Some of these, in my humble opinion, which is not financial advice, these are undervalued, anywhere from undervalued to ridiculously undervalued, depending on which one. I will say, I do think CleanSpark's very undervalued, but it has had a nice run. So, I wouldn't be surprised if things go bad if CleanSpark gets hit harder than everybody else, because they've had a big run up. Bitfarms has not. I mean, Bitfarms is at $3.45. Like, in my mind, I never thought we'd see $5 ever again, and not going up. I never thought we'd go down to $5, and now we can't even get back up to $5. We got, I'll tell you one, George and I both got bit on. We had Bitfarms February $5 calls
in November,
and they were so we went from up substantial to
don't remind me
to down substantial. Let's just say that one did not go well.
Guys, tens of thousands. That was you realize that was my worst trade so far.
That was definitely that was our worst, and I still have a high level of conviction in Bitfarm, but this is the problem with playing with options, right? If I do hold the stock, and the stock that I hold, I feel like I haven't lost any money on that because Bitfarms is going to go back to where it belongs. But my February options, I lost all my money on those. I didn't have any stop loss.
See, that's why I like stock.
I rode it to the finish line, and it was not
stock
good.
Is great to me. That's just, because it's real value. It's like dollars in the bank, even if it goes down a little bit.
That's right. You still have a share of the stock. So as long as you have confidence in the company and you've done your due diligence and you know what's going on, sometimes there's external forces that push all these things down. And you just got to ride that period out. It has been frustrating. I know that, especially all of you guys that comment a lot on the channel and on the Discord, I know everybody, including myself, I mean, I'm frustrated. This is taking way too long, but it's a game of patience. So that's all we can do is wait. Everything was set up. If you saw a couple of days ago, everything was set back up. The RSI on the daily, the MACD, everything that I look at was all set up. And then we had this run up, and then boom, it just stopped. Like right here. And turned around. So I don't know. There was nothing there was no indicator that I was looking at we were not overbought right here. So there was nothing to show this was now we did speculate. If you remember on yesterday's live stream, we said it looks like we're getting stuck here. So we may fail this test. And we did, unfortunately. So maybe we need to...
So you think tomorrow will be the normal 4 o'clock takeoff at 4 o'clock? It'll probably kind of bounce around the same where it is right around now for the next 24 hours, and then 4 o'clock. It'll be the weekend, and it'll take off like it does every weekend.
I know. Well, first of all, they've got me conditioned that Friday's going to be a nightmare because it's been 3 Fridays in a row that have been very bad. And that, past has nothing to do with the future, so tomorrow could be the best day ever, but I'm starting to get afraid of Fridays. And yeah, it does seem like whatever it's going to do, it waits until the equity market closes, and then it goes and does its weekend thing. So I guess you got to trade the cryptocurrency itself if you want to get the action in on the weekend.
So in the last 30 days, the lowest has been the 34,327.72.
In the last 34 days, but we did get just under on January 24th. Let me just zoom out and scroll back to that. We got a little bit under, I call it 33,000, but we did get like a tiny little bit under 33,000. Let me see what this is saying. 32,933. So call it 33,000. That was on January 24th. That was a bottom, and then we had another bottom on February 24th. And you can see we had a huge run up from there. But now it's been, you know, up and down, but really sideways.
Is that like, go back, it kind of looked like they were giving us the middle finger right there. Is that what that is, or no?
That could be. Let's see if there's a few people reporting. Let's see if anybody's.
Oh yeah. Oh, should have bought it. It's up 10%.
I don't know. This says what to expect, so I'm gonna go to Rivion's site and see if
oh, it's
they've
up
listed.
2.38%.
But have they actually
reported?
Oh yeah, these guys make you go on.
Holy smokes! Go back up for a second.
How far?
Just with a picture of the people.
Those guys?
Yeah, interesting. Okay, keep going.
They're living the dream. In the forest, I guess, for some reason we're in the forest with our Rivian.
They should have like an investors page.
They do, but it's way down. You got to score. They don't have it at the top. So
You would think that they would put this on YouTube or something like that. You know what I mean? They should do all earnings. $310 rate. Wait, go back up. It said something about webcast right there. 310.22 quarter
this,
4.
This is upcoming. I think at 5 or 6 o'clock today.
Yeah, but it says
time.
webcast.
We can hit this, log in, and sign up, and then we can be on the list and watch their. I usually watch it later. I rarely watch them live, but.
Is that boring or what?
Let's see.
Is it just numbers?
See, this is still, so they're not out yet on the website. The earnings calls can be fascinating, actually. Well, maybe fascinating's not the right word, but that could be an overstatement. You could learn a lot on some of these earnings calls, and a lot of times, and I know a lot of you guys agree with me because I hear somebody today was like, I'm blanking his name out. The Fred Deal, the CEO of Marathon. Somebody today was saying, you know, he needs to get fired. So some of these earnings calls, you get to listen to management. You get to listen to the CEO, the CFO, and sometimes a few other people. And I like that because I really get a sense, like, does this person know what they're talking about? You can read stuff on paper, and that's been scripted and rehearsed, but you can tell when somebody knows what they're talking about on an earnings call. And more importantly, you can tell when somebody doesn't. And there have been, I won't mention any names, but I have watched a few earnings calls recently where I just could not believe how, in my opinion, the lack of knowledge and capability of the CEO of some of these companies.
Mike, why do you think Charles is the person who invented Bitcoin, by the way? I love reading this stuff and hearing. Hey, real quick, Tom, before we forget this one, what's the price target on BTBT Bit Digital?
See, BTBT is one of the ones that frustrates me greatly. They put out, I'm going to show you guys in real time so that you can see what I'm talking about. They don't do a monthly update. So there's 8 companies now that do a monthly update. Now, Bit Digital's been in business longer than almost all of them, but they still don't do a monthly update. So that's very frustrating to me, and if they're not doing an update, it's because it's not great news. It's not like they don't have the information. So my problem with these guys is, so everybody, I don't know, I guess this is a blockchain apparently because it's on every single website now. So
that's what my poop coin as my poop. That's exactly what I have.
This is the digital
it
representation of. I believe it. That seems to be the. So, Bit Digital is a sustainability-focused generator of digital assets with large-scale global mining operations representing a currently owned maximum hash rate of 1.603. They then go on to define that that's their maximum hash rate. That's not what they're actually running. And this number's gone down basically every month for 8 months now. So while everybody else's number is going up substantially, theirs keeps going down. So it's down a full exahash from its peak, I believe, in the summer. So just tell us what's going on. They know what their exahash rate is. It's not, right? It's not advanced math. How many machines you got? What are they running at? What's your uptime? And how many Bitcoin did you mine? Just tell us. Everybody else tells us. So I worry about these guys. I know a lot of people have made a bunch of money, and one time I did take the run up with these guys, and I feel like I took one big giant run up, and I'm just not willing to risk it again. They're probably, I mean, they're really low right now. And, you know, they've gone from $4 to $30. They've gone from $4 to $16. So they are capable of having massive runs, but from a buy and hold standpoint, these guys are not showing me what I want to see. So that's my personal opinion. Tell me what you guys think. Are a lot of you invested in BTBT? I know on a short-term basis there's money to be made. Right, they're at $3.32, right? Their 52-week range is $20, but I know they got up to $30 and something at one point. I bailed on them I got them somewhere in the 4s and sold them somewhere in the 16s the first time they ran up. And I have not touched them since because I feel like I won on this one and they're just not giving me information. So, you know, if you put a gun to my head, I would guess that, you know, they're like all the rest of these, they're probably going to double or triple, but I'd rather put my money with the ones who are telling me exactly what they're doing and the ones who are doing what they say. And they're on track and they're on target every month.
Mike, I don't know if he's really the guy, but if you say he's the guy, I'll just go with it. But why would he do Cardano and then Cardano have all the problems that Cardano's had in the last, I don't know, 45 days? And is it just because it's not the same as how Bitcoin is done, where you can't buy Bitcoin directly? You have to buy, you know, where you have to buy Ether to buy Bitcoin? How do you, Tom?
I'm sorry, what?
You have to buy another coin to buy, another coin to buy Bitcoin. You can't go out and buy it directly with dollars. Not on
the crypto exchanges. So if you're on like Robinhood or PayPal,
you can buy it directly then?
You can buy it, but it's a little bit different. But yes, if you're on one of those traditional
I'm a hobbit.
But yeah, if you're actually on a crypto, you know, if you're on
But what I was told, that's not true Bitcoin either. When you go to like they buy it like at the certain times, or they have some and then they sell you what they have.
I think that's what happens. They have a supply of it and they buy and sell it and they make money. But they'll honor the going rate, so you're buying and selling it at whatever it's going at. But they're not necessarily actually on chain buying and selling when you do. JM says Fred needs to move on. So, I mean,
okay.
Fred is the CEO of Marathon. And so I just did a video on them. I'm frustrated. They have all the potential in the world, but they got to step it up and get their machines plugged in. JJT says I'm not in Bit Digital. Mike says he's a hobbit. I'm assuming that is not literal. Any news on Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF? No news. I don't know how long they're going to drag this out. We need a spot ETF for Bitcoin. It's overdue. And I will say, having the executive order yesterday, I think was a step that had to happen. Right? This is going to be a path. It's all going to take longer than we want, but at least that was a step in the right direction. And I think it put to rest a lot of people's fears, because there's been so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Oh, the U.S. is going to ban cryptocurrency. The U.S. is going to tax it in ways it's never taxed anything else. There was nothing in the executive order that even hinted at anything like that. It was more a giant acknowledgement that, guess what? We can't ignore cryptocurrency anymore. It's here. What are we going to do? How do I feel about Hive? I like Hive. I'm invested in Hive. I like Hive. They're Hive under $2 to me is a steal. They do have a lot of outstanding shares, but under $2 to me, that is a steal. I like what they're doing. There is the main thing to know about Hive, and I'm comfortable with it. And their CEO is supposed to talk to me, but his assistant seems to be giving me a problem at the moment. So if you're listening, give us a call, because we were on your schedule and now I'm not hearing back from them. Anyway, that's beside the point. They mine a massive amount of Ethereum, and they came right out and said Ethereum's never going to proof of stake. So that's a core belief for their business. That's something they said on the conference call. I haven't read that anywhere. I listened to their conference call, and is it Frank Holmes? Or am I mixing people's names together? He said, there for a reason, and he cited a few reasons, one of which was the SEC. He said it's not happening. We believe it's not ever going to happen. And so we are going to continue to invest in Ethereum mining equipment, and we're going to continue to mine Ethereum. So that is a core belief of their company. So if they turn out to be wrong about that, then I guess, that will change their picture. It doesn't mean all those machines become worthless. It just changes their picture they're the most reliant on Ethereum out of all the major Bitcoin miners. But I happen to agree with his assessment. I don't think it is ever. I was surprised he came out and said it, because everybody's afraid to say it out loud. But I think that the people in the know behind the scenes seem to be all having a similar opinion, that they very much doubt that that's going to happen. And if it is going to happen, it's not going to be anytime soon.
That's an interesting. Why is the ETF so important for Bitcoin in the U.S.?
Frank Holmes, if you're listening, your person needs to confirm our meeting. An ETF, a spot ETF, that's a real ETF. That means that fund has to buy Bitcoin, not like the futures ETF that came out. So there are a lot of investors, older people in general, but there's a lot of investors. They have not, and they probably never will go set up a Gemini account or a Coinbase account or whatever the case may be. They're not gonna trade cryptocurrency that way. But what they will do is buy an ETF. And, that one of the things is that signals greater adoption. And the second thing is the ETF, the most important thing, the ETF has to literally buy the Bitcoin in order to back whoever's investing in it. So that is going to drive the demand on Bitcoin way up. And if you guys have looked at the available supply, the supply of on-chain Bitcoin is at an all-time low. I mean, it is ridiculously low. It is so low that an ETF could, and it may be why they're not doing it, that could cause a spiral upward in the price of Bitcoin, in my opinion.
Could double it.
Yeah, I mean, and it should. I mean, if doubling it wouldn't even be a problem. That's hardly past its all-time high or 52-week high. So they need to just get it done.
I wonder if there's like certain wallet. You know, I should keep track of the wallets more, if who's buying and who's selling. Because I wonder if it's just like the constant same people like driving it up and then dropping a whole bunch and letting it go back down. You know what I mean? And just keep going back and forth, and whoever can figure it out is, you know, us little retail guys, whoever can figure it out, you know, they can make a ton of money.
Yeah, we're the last to know. So that's for sure. The reason a US, you know, JJT is asking why does it have to be one in the US and not Canada or Europe? The volume traded in the United States, just for what, you know, it is what it is. The volume traded, that's why Hive and Bitfarms and Hut 8 and DigiHost, that's why they all uplisted to the NASDAQ. The volume of money traded through that is just so massive that it would, you know, there's gonna be so many multiples more that run through that exchange than, say, for instance, the Canadian exchange, even though a lot of these Bitcoin mining companies are Canadian. The exchange is just very small in comparison. So, you know, that doesn't mean it's better or worse. It's just smaller.
Better or worse?
We cannot buy us, not the way, I'm sure, with a call to your broker and a lot of rigmarole, you could end up buying a Canadian ETF. But I can't go on to, I have 5 different brokers online, and I cannot buy a Canadian ETF on any of them. I can buy, you know, a lot of the companies create pink sheets and they trade over the counter in the United States, so we have access to some foreign companies, but I think people would be more comfortable going and buying the Bitcoin than jumping through the hoops to try to buy an ETF on a different exchange. I mean, from, you know, everybody on this stream, you know, that's not the audience of people that we're talking about. We all know how to buy Bitcoin if we want Bitcoin, but there's a huge population that doesn't. And there's retirement funds and all those other things that they're probably not going to start buying Bitcoin until something like an ETF is available and until these regulations are, you know, that's why nobody loves regulations. It's nobody's favorite word, but if there's going to be regulations, let's get them so that we don't have to wonder what the regulations are going to be. And I really think this executive order that was outlined shows there's going to be regulations coming, but it's going to be nobody's going to be surprised, in my opinion, by what they are. And they're not going to be punitive in nature, in my opinion. Mike is saying ETH 2.0 is inevitable one day. They're putting out FUD. I mean, I don't know, because with Frank Holmes, he's putting out more than FUD. He's spending hundreds of millions of dollars on machines to mine Ethereum. They're going under the premise that that's not happening, and I don't know. I mean, the reason I doubt it is because they've already missed their date numerous times. So then at some point it turns into I'll believe it when I see it.
Kind of like any.
Exactly. I read a funny thing about their new miners yesterday. In the on yesterday's stream, we were talking about a short report that's out there on cores. So I reread that last night, and I put Just my opinion. I don't think their short report makes any sense. I think it seems like it was just written to try and drive the price of the stock down, because the stuff that they talked about in there, let's just say I disagree with that short report, and I'll leave it. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. They don't like the stock. They don't like the company. I disagree. But anyway, in the middle of all that, they had a statement. So I'm going to call this I think it's a quote, but I'm going to say it's a paraphrase. They said, new miner does not exist. It will never exist. And it's owned and run by a bunch of Taiwanese criminals. So that was this was in the Core Scientific short report, because Eni, which is supposed to be buying these new miners, if you guys remember what I'm talking about, what were they calling it? The Mountain Dew machine. They're supposed to land with Core Scientific to host them. And, a part of the short report is those aren't real. They don't exist. They're never going to exist. So, you can't count that as, future potential hosting. And I do agree with that. There were things in there that they said that I agree with. It's just that even if everything that this person said was true, I don't think it devalues the price of the stock. Because here's the thing. They get 1,000 Bitcoin a month. So, give me the counterpoint against that, which there wasn't one, in my opinion.
Do you see that? Digi. Short.
Barry, the answer to that, can the same ETH machines be turned into nodes, validators for other cryptos? And the answer is absolutely yes. I think there's even, what is it, like Crypto Classic or whatever it's called. I think you can in like 5 minutes just switch over to that. You don't make as much money, but yes, all of those. So that's why I'm saying it's not like they're going to have to throw all those machines out. But the next best thing you can do with them is not in the neighborhood of the money they're making mining Ethereum right now. So they won't be worthless, and they will be utilized. And they're high power machines, obviously, so.
And that's only if they're on that Ether network. Because, like, for an example, I have SHA 256, and that's for Bitcoin. And it has to be on that node, or what would you call that? I don't know what you call that, but it has to be in that technology. You know what I mean? So it can't do just anything.
Right. It can't. Well, yes, there are certain things that are specific. Particularly Bitcoin has a specific, the ASIC. But the GPUs that mine Ethereum can mine a lot of different things, and they can also be used as high power computing. So there's a market for them. It's just not as profitable as mining Ethereum. Drake is saying Bit Digital short squeeze is coming soon. I won't disagree with that. I mean, it seems like an inevitable cycle that keeps happening. I'm not going to jump in on it because, again, they're not giving me any information that I want, but you're probably right. Mike's saying, watch Polkadot.
Polkadot is a coin?
Yes. Estimate for DOT in the future. This is Mike saying, estimate for DOT in the future is $1,000.
What does Polkadot do? You want to pull it up and...
What would you say?
You do here. It's not another, as I like to call it, poop coin.
What is this? What am I doing? This is my first place I go for whatever reason. So we're looking, where's Polkadot? Number 11, coming in at number 11. Polkadot. So the market cap right now is $18 billion.
That's healthy.
And it's at $17. So, Mike, are you telling me this is going to go to $1,000? Because I guess I guess maybe we got to buy some Polkadot.
It's a 20 billion market cap. Huh? What does it do?
He's answering that. It's just with words.
That easily connect multiple blockchains and dApps, allowing them to seamlessly transact token and data between one another. Polkadot platform will connect all types of blockchains. Both public networks, future technology. Have a voice. All stakeholders will have a voice.
There's only 1.1 billion of these. It's total supply 1.1 billion. So I don't know what their method is. Is that going to be the final number? Because it looks like they're basically there right now. Because there's almost that much in circulation. Or are they going to continue to add to this number? Because a billion, although that sounds like a big number, really in cryptocurrency, that's not a gigantic circulation. So
Shiba or Polkadot?
I do not believe in Shiba. I do not believe in Dogecoin. That's just my opinion. I'm not an expert on that. Okay, so guess what? They didn't like earnings on Rivian.
Oh my goodness.
36.85. It's getting near my number.
You said it, didn't you?
It's getting near my number. We'll see. Might take a day or two. Yeah, this is getting down 6% during the day and down 9% after hours, and it was just 10% 20 seconds ago. So, yeah, I don't know what, and now it's 10%. So I don't know what's in there, but I'll read through that later. Is anybody investing in Rivian? Do any of you guys, do any of you Bitcoin miner people follow any of the EV stocks, either large or small? I will tell you, I mainly, and you guys can see this from my channel, I mainly follow the small caps. So, because I think there's huge opportunity. They've all been unlike the large cap stocks, they've all already been destroyed from a market cap standpoint. So there's a few of them that I think are good companies. So Mike, I think you're saying in the future they're gonna make more Polkadot. And Shiba and so you like Shiba as well. Mike's saying just Tesla. Yeah, I mean, I no longer follow, Neo, Xpeng, and Lee, because there's just too much FUD around the China EV stocks for me. And you can see, like, they were down 20%, or they were up 20% yesterday, and they're down, 15 or 20% today. I can't live in that world. But I do like to follow Tesla, Rivian, Lucid. Those are the big ones that I follow, although I'm not invested in any of those yet. But I do think I think Rivian, if it can get to, beat up just a little bit more, is going to be interesting. And I think Tesla right now is probably a buy. Mike, you follow Tesla. You think it's a buy right now? JJT saying Neo, Arrow, and thinking about Polestar. I got to look up Polestar. Did they go through some kind of, which is a Volvo? It's not what it sounds like. It's a
No, I just read a comment. And it's just laughing because I thought the exact same thing, Barry.
All right. I guess we have some Shiba haters in the group. I'm not a hater. I to me, those were meme activity, and so they become very unreliable. I don't know how to trade meme stocks or coins or any of that. So, and there's so many investment options.
Man, isn't it crazy? I mean, just my head is spinning just what we went over today.
Okay, Polestar was a SPAC. That's what I'm remembering. Yeah, and I haven't really followed them, and I don't have them on my watch list, so I need to put them back on there. Mike's saying I'd buy Tesla if I had some spare cash. Yeah, that's one of almost everybody's big problem right now. There's been so many buy the dip opportunities that nobody has any money left to buy the dip. So that's just reality. I want to see what... There were a couple other big name companies that reported today, and then we should probably wrap it up pretty soon, I think. But I want to look and see... And this list isn't always right, so we'll see if they actually did. Blink was supposed to report today, but I guess they didn't like that either. Down 7%.
It's someday these have to be buys.
Blink had run up. I mean, it was as low as under $18 at one point. And this is what's really hard about these EV. And I'm in Volta. I felt like this was the least volatile of the three, and I felt good about their their ratios and that kind of stuff. Market cap is 750 million. They haven't run up to billions and billions already, so I feel like we haven't missed the run in this one yet, and they've got some good forecasted numbers if they can hit their numbers. But nobody talks about that. Everybody talks about Blink, and by 10 times more, everybody talks about ChargePoint. And ChargePoint has run up huge in the last little bit. Of course, it got knocked down a lot before that, but it was one of the first ones to start its climb back up. So I feel good. I have this in the 10K challenge. I bought this like 7 trading days ago, and I'm up 25% on it. So, that worked out. It turns out, had I bought ChargePoint like I planned, I would have been up 25% on that as well. However, as we just found out, we wouldn't have wanted to buy Blink because that one's not going so well.
Man, 10 points. Oof,
it's funny, Volta is not reacting at all to that, which is good for me, anyway.
Would you get in it?
I'm up 25%. I can't remember the number I got in at, but yeah, and it ran. It ran.
10K? 10K?
Yeah.
Nice.
That thing, like, if I had waited another day, it would have been too long. So I'm just going back to the Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. So we're just very sideways today. 39,428. That is kind of the higher end of the sideways that we went today. We were as low as 39,000 earlier, and then before the market opened, we were at 38.5. But we did hit this red line twice today at 39,650. So we can't seem to get to 40. We're stuck in the mud. I don't know which direction we're going in. We're so range bound that the technical analysis is starting to get less helpful because everything's pointing towards one thing, and then because we're so tightly in a range, when we hit one of these lines of resistance, everything changes, and then we bounce off, and then we go down and hit another one, and etc. So we'll see. It's going to break eventually. It can't sit here forever. I mean, I suppose it could, but I don't think it will.
Mike, yeah, I don't even know what to say. I agree with Bing Bong. Hey, Bing Bong. If Shiba gets to a penny, it's worth everything more than
yeah. That's the problem. I know, but this is why a lot of people buy a lot of these altcoins. They can buy, you know, I don't even remember what it was, but I remember one of the people that I used to watch on YouTube. He was like, "Oh, I bought 17 billion of these," and I'm like, "Well, if you bought 17 billion of them, you know, how much are they really worth? There must be trillions of them out there." So, and that's the sense I get with Shiba. But again, I've not done a deep dive. I'm not an expert on that. So, Mike, you probably know more about that than I do. Yeah, I mean, if you do the math, if Shiba gets to a penny, it's worth what, I mean, it will dwarf Bitcoin. I think it'll dwarf gold.
Yeah, you're from Holland, Peters? My wife's family's from Holland. Speaking die Deutsch.
Barry, I totally agree. Barry says if oil steadies above 100, EVs will be huge. I agree, and I think we're in for that. I think we're in for some extended. I'm hoping it looks like oil's not going to spiral out of control to numbers that are damaging to the economy. But I would not be surprised to see $100 to $120 oil for an extended period of time. And we saw right away. That's why, you know, that's why my Volta is up so much. A lot of the EVs just took off when this happened. And I'm in a lot of the ones I'm in are the very small caps. You know, Romeo took off, Arrow took off, Volta took off. Those are the ones that I'm in the 10K challenge. So
They better start burning a lot.
Matic Polygon is one of my favorites. I hear a lot. I hear a lot of people love that. So they're burning.
I want all these things to do good.
Yeah, yeah. Matic to 100. Well, I have a person that I trust a lot that really likes Matic. Let me see where Matic is at. Plus you, Mike. I trust you a lot, too.
What time is it in Holland, by the way? I think that's why I love doing this, Tom. I get to meet people all over the world.
I know. It's incredible.
It's so cool. It's so awesome.
Did you answer JJT? I think you gave all of the broken Dutch that you're...
Yeah. There you go.
Great.
Yeah. You got a tent? Sorry. That's spies like us.
Oh, that's...
If anybody's worried about the war with Russia and Ukraine, go watch Spies Like Us.
Oil stocks have been killing it. That is true. So Polygon's at $1.45. You're talking about $100? Man, I hope Mike's right. I feel like I'm going to invest in what he's talking about. Mike, do you know what is this based on analysis or
long-term reading?
We're talking Polygon's at $1.45 right now. It's down 11% in the last, I think this is week. Yep, it's down 11% in the last week, but Solana has gotten beaten up in the last week. Cardano's gotten beaten up. Avalanche has gotten beaten up. I mean, it's been a tough week. But look, I mean, here at the top of the board, Bitcoin and Ethereum are down 10 and 11% on the week.
Just so you guys know, the short-term volatility is not over with on Bitcoin. Not financial advice.
Well, I got a couple people telling me Matic, so I'm going to have to dig in and see what's going on there.
1 year, it's up 387%, by the way.
Which one? Polygon?
Yeah, Matic.
Well, yeah, but that's chump change compared to what some of these can do. So we missed the first whatever percent. None of us are ever going to be in on, because you got to be in on the ground floor to get the 10,000x. But you know, if there's still a 50x left on this, I'll take a 5x. 5x is a grand slam home run in my book. So,
did you guys hear that MetaMask is owned by Chase Bank, JP Morgan?
I did not hear that. Did you hear that, or is this something?
I did. No,
okay.
no. This is not a rumor. Yeah, I was gonna say all altcoins are dead. No, so they're not an owner per se. They're a large financier. They gave a lot of money to help develop it out.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, they're expecting 2024 to be the year for crypto, by the way.
Matic and Solana have the most business behind it. It's a JJT.
Yes, boo.
Boo MetaMask.
Yeah, it's just funny because they sit there and they talk about...
Is MetaMask an exchange, or is that a coin?
It's an exchange. It's probably one of the largest It's really cool because it is an extension on, like I have it. But here's my problem. I can't use a card to buy anything on it. It's ridiculous.
On what? MetaMask?
Yeah.
Well, there's certain things. That's one of the things with these altcoins. You got to be on 5 or 6 or 7 different exchanges, and then you got to convert this to that and that to that. And I'm sure for the people that are up to speed on it, it's all very simple. But if you're on the outside looking in, it looks extremely complicated.
Yeah, so I have a wallet, and then it's a cold storage wallet, and then I use the cold storage wallet to MetaMask, and then MetaMask to the whatever exchange. And then I believe it's Ethereum and Binance is the two that they do. And then you go from there.
I mean, Binance, I think they're the biggest exchange in the world.
You know, it's funny. Nobody talks about Binance. You notice that? No one in here talked about Binance.
Well, it doesn't seem like the coin is it's the 4th biggest coin, but it doesn't seem like the coin is the thing. It's the exchange
but
itself.
The gas fees, the gas fees are so much cheaper than Ethereum.
Yeah.
I can't get over how expensive it is to buy these altcoins.
Yeah, that's another thing that's gotta move in the right direction over time for some of these altcoins to get mass adoption. JJT saying Voyager Digital. That's one I'm on the verge. I want in on Voyager Digital.
You do, huh?
On the stock. That's exactly right.
Oh, the stock, not the coin?
The stock, I've been watching them for a long time. Well, I mean, none of this has been around a long time, but relative to the industry, I've been watching them for a while. They've been on my watch list, and they are down at prices that are hard to resist. I'm so heavy in these types of stocks. I hate to add another, crypto-related stock, but if I do add one more, and if Voyager gets under like $5, I mean, you won't believe where this thing is at. It's at $6.11. I mean, this was at $30. And more realistically, $15 to $20 to me seems like a pretty realistic range for this stock, and it's down to $6. I guess I probably should already be in this one. I don't know. It's scared. There's no... So in the U.S., I have to buy this over the counter. And, there's no options. But I don't know. I mean, I think this is these guys are minting money as far as I can tell. Oh, JJT saying Binance is a huge risk. They're operating without a license in Europe, and in more and more countries they are banned. Well, I know they had to do some like Binance USA to do anything here, although I think everybody can do whatever they want anyway.
Well, I mean, if you have a VPN, I'm sure, but...
Right. That's your step one on the workaround.
Right. I mean, so I've been told.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as I know, I wouldn't know.
Right, Mr. Smith? I'm Mr. Jones.
So let me see if there's any other... So Blink, apparently people didn't like Blink's earnings. Apparently people didn't like Rivion's earnings. Let me see if DocuSign actually reported. Oh, they reported. Holy cow.
See, I think
their
I'm telling you,
52-week low was $90. They're at 77 right now. By the way,
no more.
By the way, they were at $314, and you might not remember this, but we were talking about them and Snowflake way back when, saying how on earth Snowflake's done better than this. I mean, they've gotten beat down, but not like this. This is brutal.
Oh, that's brutal. See why I'm nervous? Like when you say that, oh, those are 90% down. Oh, Snowflake plummeted last week.
But you can see, I mean, they're hanging around 200.
I can't believe they still are hanging at 200.
They're down 50%, and that sounds awful, but that's nothing compared to...
Tom wouldn't let me do this, but I wanted to short him at like 320.
Yes. I'm terrified of shorting because you guys know things can go in the wrong direction for a long time. But I guess today would have been a good day to short. So everybody who reported today got destroyed after hours.
So, and you think tomorrow's going to be a good day?
Let me look at Ideonomics. They were another one on the list, but I'm not sure they actually reported. Not much action here. They may not have actually reported a lot of times those. Yeah, March 10th to March 12th, so I don't know.
They probably are afraid to report now.
Yeah, like today, definitely not a good day.
Yeah, they got to release first. They got to sign something saying they're dumping all their stock before they release. Wonder how many of these guys did that.
Look at this. This is brutal.
18%.
This is 18% off of what was already almost their 52-week low, which for DocuSign is their all-time low.
Right, and that's what scares me.
But here's price book 95.
Explain to me what that means.
Their book value. So, and you know, you got to take no one of these numbers is meaningful on its own, but you know, that means it's selling at 95 times the actual value of the books, meaning, you know, their financial statements, their assets minus their liabilities. So that's a very high number. It's been much worse for them. They're trading at 11 times sales. I mean, they were much, much higher than that. And, you know, it depends from industry to industry. Now they're saying they have a 48 PE, forward PE, but this was 126, 185. So to me, that's when if I see that, I don't care. I'm not buying it. But I'm afraid to short it because how do I know 185 isn't going to turn into 200 like it did over here? You know, I mean, in this instance, they're, you know, now all the stocks are getting taken out. So this was how long you had to wait. But we talked about a lot of these a long time ago.
Yeah, we haven't talked about them for a little bit. Wow. Well, I got to end it, dudes. It was real.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, George. Thanks, everybody, for...
Yeah, thanks, everybody. We're Friday. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a bad day tomorrow. Oof. Can you... Oof. But you know what? We're always wrong, so...
I know, Mike. They got me terrified of Fridays now, but maybe tomorrow will break the mold. We'll see.
Bitcoin started sliding again.
Great.
39,250.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, everybody have a great night. Thanks again, and we'll be live streaming tomorrow. Good night.